Well, welcome back to the Camera Shy podcast.
Yep.
We've got a work experience girl in today, and Lloyd.
I'm on work experience too.
But yeah, we're going to be doing Reddit Tales part 3?
Millie has some questions for us.
Okay.
When choosing to do this as a career, how did you come to that decision and what has changed since you started?
So when I chose to do it as a career, it's basically because I wasn't good at much else, maybe. No, I had no other sort of interest. So I used to do a lot of Photoshop and little edit things. So just really naturally got into it. And I suppose the technology's got a lot more digital since I started. It was still tape cassettes, like on camcorders back in the day.
Was it actually?
Yeah, I'm not taking the mic.
Uni? Was university?
Yeah, 20 years ago, yeah. We used to record to DV cam.
Sorry.
Don't laugh. Outrageous.
I just didn't think it was that old.
That was good technology back then. That's
Wow.
like, what do you mean the cassette's only this big?
Yeah.
I didn't see my first memory card till I was but a man.
Was there like Premiere Pro and all that stuff?
Yeah, they had
Editing.
Adobe CS, I think it was called.
Yeah, Photoshop's pretty old, so that.
Yeah,
That's probably
and it was
right.
like, but they didn't do it by year. They did it by, oh, this is quite funny
Yeah.
telling you this. They didn't do it by year. They did it by like version. So it was version 3 or something like that.
Oh,
I think the first Photoshop I worked on was Adobe Photoshop 3.5 or something like that.
yeah.
It could have been 5.3, but yeah. So the technology, everything's subscription based now. That makes a big difference. Makes it less expensive in the
What?
short run.
Did you have to like pay for the whole
Yeah,
thing?
yeah. You'd have to pay like $2,000. So
like
nobody paid $2,000.
Microsoft, yeah.
They would just find crack versions of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
Not me, of course, but others. What about you? What's changed in your time?
I haven't been around for that long. But I think AI.
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually.
like in school we didn't have that really. Yeah, it would have helped me a lot.
Yeah.
Like coursework especially, like for media. Like I had to write all that from the top of my head, basically. And I can imagine now everyone just uses ChatGPT.
Mm.
And yeah, Photoshop, AI.
Generative fill.
Yeah, the generative fill on there.
Remove. It's good that they've got a remove button and a generative fill
Generative,
now.
yeah.
Because that was annoying because it would
Yeah.
always replace it with something else.
Yeah.
Like a weird harmless man.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, get rid of this person. And it would be like, there you go.
But yeah, I think that's the biggest change, just AI. Yeah.
Who are the biggest inspirations for you at the moment?
Ooh, at the moment. You going to say me? No.
No. I always forget his last name. It's not David, the pose guy. It's not him.
Oh, Sue.
Different David.
David Sue.
We love a David. This guy. David.
Oh, I haven't seen his
Brown-
stuff.
I can't. You know what? I feel like I've shown you.
No.
Yeah, I love his photography. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. But yes, I'd say he's my biggest inspiration. At the moment, at least. I'll probably change it.
Yeah. I mean, that's not crazy stuff either. It's just nice.
Yeah, his
you know?
stuff looks really good.
There's a few people doing quite cool stuff that I've worked with in the past. Dale MFR does all the time hyperlapses. I really like them. So, but he's
they're
got
really
into
cool.
actually full edits, full event coverage, promos, all sorts. So yeah. So Dale, if you're out there, love your work.
When doing a project, what is the most crucial bit of planning that you do?
For me, it's kit.
Yeah. This isn't really for us, but like for yesterday's shoot, I'd say just the timings of everything, so the schedule.
Schedule, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
'Cause it could ruin a whole day.
If we were in charge of everything, the script and the
Yeah.
storyboard as well, But a lot of the time we go to, and all of that's been done by the agency who's hiring us or whatever. But yeah, we would do a lot more pre-planning than just bringing the right kit.
But yeah, kit for sure.
But kit is always there.
We don't really do recce's, but like...
No, we started doing them.
Yeah.
Like
we kind of do.
Yeah.
Like those are important, knowing where you're shooting and...
Yeah. We did them for the fashion show we did. While I went along, just looked at the plugs. And I was like, yep, you got plugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just making sure you can do the job, basically. That's the main thing.
As an artist, do you prefer when clients want you to impart your creative vision onto a project, or do you prefer when they have a strong idea of what they want and trying to recreate their vision?
You go first on this one.
I do like recreating things. It's fun.
So what if someone says, I really like this, could we do something similar? And you're like, right.
It depends, because if it's something crazy that I can't do, I'd be like, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, it depends where on the spectrum, really. But yeah, I do actually like recreating stuff with clients because you get to try new things instead of doing your own.
They set you a challenge rather than just, can you take a picture and just make it up? Yeah. Like they set you like something to do. Yeah. It's like when you're doing art at school, they get you to copy the artist. Yeah. And then you develop your own style.
Yeah.
For me, well, I quite like to be given the creativity, but from experience, I don't like to go too deep into it because I'll do something that I really like and then they'll just be like, love it, but just change everything. And then you're like, oh. I always say that. Like, actually, my first job, I was editing promos for a TV studio. And I really went into it. I think I spent 2 days like doing lates on it as well. Just like, I really want to get like a promo commissioned, and showed it to the guy who was in charge. And he literally just went, I love it. And then just went, just change everything and we're there. And I was like, oh God. Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that.
Yeah, so I kind of fell a bit out of love with that process. But it is a case of giving your input with like room to move. So that's like kind of the thing. That in editing, and motion graphics, that's kind of the thing.
What part of a project do you enjoy the most?
Lunchtime, dinner time, break time,
invoicing,
money time.
No, not.
I'm joking.
You do love lunch. I've got to say, it just depends. I think I've answered a similar question before, and I think whatever I've been doing the most of, if like a job comes up and it's totally different, it's nice to do something different. So it'll be fresh for like so if I've been editing for 3 weeks and they're like, here's a lovely edit for you, I'll be like, okay. But then they're just like, do you want to go out and shoot for a day? I'll be like, yeah, let's go. Yeah. Just because it's like a bit different and I get to, go back and do something else
You know what I really like? The shock of when people see the footage or the pictures. Yeah. And they're like, it's actually really good. And it's like, what did you think? But I like it. It's quite satisfying. It's like, it is good.
Yeah. And you get that a lot, actually.
I think it's because my camera looks really old. But yeah, I like that side of it. It's quite funny.
Was it yesterday?
I think
I caught you on the third shoot. And your hand was shaking.
Oh, it was so heavy.
You were holding the camera for so long. Your hand was going like this. And I was like, is she okay? But got through it.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that I've got wrist problems as well. My wrists lock up.
Yeah. But yeah, you get that a lot. Like, basically show them. Because it is a bit one of them things, showing them the back of your camera. Like to be like, that's kind of what it looks like because you haven't edited it.
Yeah.
But I think it normally does look quite good out the back of your camera,
Yeah.
whereas back of the video camera,
Yeah.
I've got to like fast forward it because I've started recording way before the take
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But yeah.
If you could do any passion project, what would it be? And if you could choose anyone to be involved in it, who would you pick?
Anyone to be involved in it. Ooh.
Guess my one. No, you won't. Mine's actually not that crazy. But...
Is it photography?
Yeah.
Okay. So it would be Bad Bunny.
No, actually.
But it not.
Oh, I don't know now.
Now I've mentioned
Oh,
it would
now
be,
that
wouldn't it?
He looks really
A Bad
good.
Bunny calendar. Yeah,
Yeah.
it would be, wouldn't it?
Ooh, I don't know.
Do you know who Bad Bunny is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really, but I know
Mm,
that he's a heartthrob. Does it make it bad if I call him a heartthrob? He's like, ugh,
Yeah.
he's not a heartthrob. Yeah.
yeah, he'd be a really good model.
Yeah. And it'd be fun to do. And people would love the pictures. Like you could.
Yeah, and I love him, so
Yeah,
that
yeah,
helps. But yeah, I was thinking The Weeknd.
Oh.
I just think his vibe.
Has he not retired now?
He is meant to be called just Able.
Weekday.
Weekday. But yeah, I was thinking him, just based off all his music videos and shows that I've watched. Like, just love him, his style. But yeah, the Bad Bunny.
Yeah. Like at the moment, yeah.
Yeah.
If I wanted to do something that I think a lot of people would watch, maybe like an interview with Sir Anthony Hopkins.
I wasn't thinking.
or like a podcast with someone really big. Like, I almost said Matt LeBlanc then, but I meant Brad Pitt. You know, just like Brad Pitt and Tom Hardy or something. Just be like, right, tell me the goss.
Yeah.
Like if I can choose anyone for anything, just chat to some people.
Yeah, I think podcast. I don't actually know who I'd want.
That might be another question that she
Yeah.
so let's not spoil it. But yeah, I think just something with someone famous. I think like a piece to camera with Anthony Hopkins would just look really cinematic just because you know him. And it would be something that would probably last like a bit of a test of time because he'd probably say some cool stuff.
Do you prefer working in a studio or working outside, and why?
Studio.
Yeah, studio.
Only because I paid so much for it. And it's a bit annoying to drag stuff up and recreate the looks outside. Yeah, it is just very convenient being in a studio.
Yeah. Yeah, I think studio, but this studio. Like I wouldn't want to go to another studio. That would scare me quite a bit.
What, like to hire just a...
I wouldn't.
You heard it here, folks. Don't hire any other studios, just this one.
Yep. But my reasoning for it is I know where everything is
You
here.
know where everything is, yeah.
I'm used to everything. It's like a second home. Snacks.
Snacks, coffee machine.
Coffee machine. I wouldn't want to go anywhere
All
else.
the good stuff.
Yeah.
You've got a drawer.
Yeah.
You don't even have a drawer. You don't have a drawer. But you can put your stuff anywhere you want. So yeah, you're good.
When shooting, what visual aspects are most important to you?
I think I know what you would say. Composition.
I was actually thinking exposure.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I think I tried to, because that could really ruin a photo.
Yeah.
Where like you can just crop.
Okay, yeah, if you're shooting a bit wider.
Yeah, so I think that. I don't know. And what you're shooting, like.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a bit of a tough one. For, yeah, I mean, for a lot of the stuff we do, yeah, it's the content. Like, you just want to keep going until you get the right thing said, and then you're all good.
Yeah.
What was the best opportunity you've had so far in your career?
Working here.
Oh. Mm, I mean, it's always been when I've worked with someone in the past and then they go on to somewhere else and they're like, oh, I'm at this cool other agency, come along for a couple of days and we need some help on this and this. Like, that's the good opportunity because then you know another 2-3 people from that place, and then you like kind of not your tendrils go out, but your you kind of network expands, and then all of a sudden you're just like, how you doing? Like, haven't seen you in a while. So that's, but I think that is a good opportunity, especially in freelancing.
Yeah, well, you know the Women's Safety Days. I actually got a couple actors message me already today.
For headshots?
Yeah.
Nice.
But then whenever I send them the location, they're like, eh.
Yeah.
So
Can
I don't
you do
know.
it around my house instead?
Yeah, but it's nice that I've got that opportunity as well to meet loads of actors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, like even if it does develop, just having those kind of guys on your roster or your IG, just to see what you're up to, keep in contact.
Yeah.
And obviously they're all up and coming, so you never know. They might be the next Tom Summer.
Yeah.
Or the next Idris Elba. I don't know. Whoever.
What is your top tip for getting the job you want in the industry?
Ooh.
Harass people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bit of harassment. Unfortunately, I would say
Not too much harassment.
Get free. Work for free a little bit. Get the experience, because it is always that issue of if you don't have the experience, they may overlook you or they can't get you involved.
Yeah.
Just because, but if you've been, you've helped out gaffers and things like that, they might be like, oh, you know what, we don't even have a gaffer on this. Would you be able to help the DOP with his lighting and stuff like that? So get some experience, and then obviously when people are actually asking for you, that's when you start to charge. You know what I mean? If you're putting yourself on stuff, it's hard to say, have you got anything in the budget for it? But there's nothing wrong with asking. They can always say no. Then you can say, contacting people. There's, I received a little email years ago which said, can I please come to the studio?
Why am I foreign?
I read it in foreign. No. Asking if I was looking for any help. And I was.
Yeah.
I emailed her straight back, and it was her.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't let her leave since. So yeah, it's always good asking. And now for Reddit Tales. So Seb, who was in a couple of weeks ago, has prepared us with a few little tales, and I will read them to you, and you can just react. Hopefully they're...
I think Millie's got 2 as well.
Oh, you got
We
some?
don't have to do one.
Yeah, let's do them. Yeah. Should I do these ones and then you...
Yeah.
Yeah, just in case we double up or anything like that. Okay. Let me check. Oh, they might not be all industry related.
Oh.
Here we go. Here we go. I skipped my son's wedding to support his ex-wife instead. What do you do when your son is the villain in his own marriage? One father decided that loyalty to his grandchildren and their mother outweighed a wedding invitation. The narrator's son married young, against his father's advice. After 2 children and a forced stint as a stay-at-home mum, the daughter-in-law was left isolated and struggling. When the son cheated and announced a new engagement just 3 days after the divorce filing, the narrators and his wife stepped in to secretly fund the daughter-in-law's new apartment. Yeah, that's really taking the side. The tension peaked on the son's new wedding day when the wife took the grandkids to the ceremony, but he stayed with the daughter-in-law
I
who
agree.
refused to attend.
I agree.
There you go.
Yeah, those are good in-laws or ex-in-laws.
Those are good ex-in-laws.
Yeah, good people.
Yeah. All right. There's quite a few. Okay. A pregnant woman wants her stepdaughter's bedroom for the new baby, but her husband is backtracking. Okay. Narrator, 33 female, is expecting a first child. They live in a 2-bedroom house with a husband and, her husband's 23-year-old daughter. Okay. Right.
How old's the husband?
He must be 43, maybe?
Yeah.
Don't know. With no space for a nursery, the narrator asked, I don't know why I keep saying narrator, but they asked the stepdaughter to move out, the wife, the pregnant lady,
Yeah.
offering 2 months' rent and help decorating in the new place. Initially, the husband agreed, but the stepdaughter claimed she couldn't afford to live despite having a full-time job. The husband folded, saying she could stay. And when they're scrambling for space with the baby due, the stepdaughter snapped, leading to a household cold war. The husband is now angry with the pregnant wife for harassing his daughter, leaving the now pregnant wife stressed and feeling like a stranger in her own home. It's crazy.
Yeah.
We're assuming he must be
An idiot.
at least 40. Do we think?
Yeah. I think he's a bit of an idiot because you don't side with your wife and then
He needs a 3-bedroom house.
yeah, just get a bigger house.
Yeah.
If the daughter can afford to pay a bit more, I think that is the better option.
Yeah.
Um.
The thing is, it might be that they don't actually need the nursery in the first little bit anyway.
Yeah, you don't. For the first year,
Yeah. Like, kind
like
of
it's
have
tiny.
it in the bed
It doesn't
or-
take up space, does it?
Nah, really. Shoebox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put it in the drawer.
But yeah, that is outrageous. What would you do if you were, it's like our ages. If I
Yeah.
had it's pretty much like having a daughter. You'd be my daughter in this story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Much more comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Right, I'll do one more, and then we'll do your two. Let me see. Imagine taking a paternity test to catch a cheating wife, only to realise that neither of you are the biological parents of your 5-year-old daughter. Right, okay. A husband viewed by internet red pill forums, and then basically Googling the eye colour thing was like, she's not my baby. So got it checked out. The results came back. The daughter wasn't biologically hers either. The child was switched at birth at the hospital. The couple is now suing the hospital and working with the police. They are terrified of losing the girl they've raised for 5 years, but desperate to find their biological child.
That's
How
really
crazy is
sad.
that?
That's really sad. I'd
Yeah.
keep the child.
Imagine if they got their biological child back and then they found out that she'd been cheating.
Oh, so neither are his.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. No, but you'd be committed by then, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Like 5 years down the line, I'd be like, yeah, you're mine.
Yeah.
Am I the arsehole for refusing to give a client raw photos after a photo shoot? I'm a photographer based in Thailand, and I recently did a 1-hour sunset photo shoot for a couple. Before the shoot, we both signed a contract that clearly states a few things. I deliver a curated gallery of edited photos. Raw/unedited photos files are not included. The gallery is expected to contain 40 to 45 edited images. Final artistic decisions remain with the photographer. The client also negotiated the price down before booking, which I agreed to. She paid a total of 35,000 baht, I think it is, which is $110 for the shoot. On the day of the shoot, the client arrived about 15 minutes late, and quite a bit of time during the session was spent on outfit changes, which reduced the time we actually had to shoot. Another complication was payment. When it was time to pay, she told me she didn't have any Thai baht at all, only USD. Because of that, I had to drive behind her to a currency exchange booth so she could exchange the money and pay for the shoot. Despite all of that, I completed the session and later delivered 42 fully edited photos, which is within the 40 to 45 range stated in the contract. After receiving the gallery, she told me she was disappointed with some of the poses and photos and asked if she could see all the other photos from the shoot. I explained that I don't provide raw files and the gallery contains the final edited selection. She kept insisting and said other photographers give raw photos, asking again to see everything. When I explained again the raw files weren't included and are also excluded in the contract, she called me stubborn. At one point during the conversation, she also mentioned that her husband had told her before the shoot that she should hire an experienced photographer, which felt like a bit of a jab at me. I even offered a discounted reshoot to try and resolve things, but she declined. Now I'm wondering if I handled this wrong. From my perspective, the contract clearly states no raw files. I delivered 42 edited images, which is exactly within the promised range. I tried to stay polite and even offered a compromise, but she clearly left the conversation unhappy.
I think that's just someone trying to get a free shoot.
You think?
Yeah.
The only thing that I think is that person's saving grace is that they said they didn't like the poses.
Yeah.
Which is their fault, but basically it might be that there's a couple in the raws that they're maybe, I don't know, their shoulders a little bit back and they look a little slimmer or something like that. Whatever they're looking for. But yeah, I mean, in that case, if it was just in Casey's, I mean, yeah, because all they're going to do is they'll put filters on it or they'll stick it in AI and regenerate, like whatever. So I would probably give it to them, but I'm a people pleaser and I'm not a photographer.
Yeah. Yeah, I would give him the 42, but the raw version.
Oh, what, of the same 42?
Yeah, just be like, there isn't any other ones.
Yeah.
Do your own edits, don't tag me.
There might not be,
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
For $110 as well. That's mad.
Yeah, I'm guessing the photographer is Thai and they're probably like American or something.
Yeah, or a travelling student or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no real right answer. It's just whatever works out best. It's a shame it ended like that.
Yeah.
Am I the arsehole for not wanting to help a photographer refund her clients? I own a company that mostly specialises in wedding videos. Our videos are nice, our clients love them, but they're not cinematic art pieces like many others offer. We've never marketed ourselves to be anything more than we are. So last year, a photographer called me up with a problem. She was working with a videographer, landed a bunch of weddings for him, but they had gotten into a financial dispute and he now refused to work with her. She was now desperate to get him replaced and no one would work for what she was paying. The photographer asked if I could take over his bookings and I told her that our work looks nothing like his, so if that's what her clients are expecting, then I simply can't help her. She begged and eventually I agreed on the condition that her clients approve our style first. Apparently they did, so we stepped in. The first one I filmed myself and it went okay. The photographer was tiring, but nothing I couldn't handle. The second one I was unavailable for, so I sent one of my other videographers. She came home after and she was livid. She told me that she had never worked with a less professional or ruder photographer, and if I ever sent her to work with her again, she'd quit. She gave me a rundown of the photographer's action at the wedding, and it was somewhat disturbing. So we got to the editing stage. I tried to get my videos out on time, but they almost never come out early. For this photographer though, I made an exception. ultimately skipping over 6 other clients just to get her off my back. We're talking 3-minute voice notes at 5 a.m, constant phone calls at all hours. She was actually giving me anxiety. So I deliver her the videos, including I don't know what that says. It's got the arrow on it. I don't know what it says. A 3 something.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. So one that she filmed herself early. And by then she thinks she's done with her. Then I get a phone call. Apparently, the clients from the second wedding were livid about the attitude on the day, saying that she ruined their wedding. The clients were demanding a full refund for the photos and video, or they were threatening to sue her. Apparently, they actually quite liked the video, but it still wasn't the product they were promised. They detested the photos, though, although that part would change in each version of her story. The photographer was crying about what she could do and then asked if she had to refund them. Whether I'd give the money back she paid us. I said no, I had already paid my team, and my entire editing schedule was thrown out because all her clients had to get priority treatment, even though they all paid peanuts. This upset her even further, and eventually she hung up the phone. I feel bad for her, but at the end of the day, I warned her beforehand about this exact outcome and told her to make sure customers were happy with what they had to offer. I had sizable expenses, I did the work, and I delivered what I said I would. But what do you think? Should I give her the money back if she decides to refund?
No.
No, I don't think they can. Like, it's funny that I really like Am I the Arsehole posts, but a lot of the time, if you're writing Am I the Arsehole, you're probably not the arsehole, right?
No.
Yeah, I think from what it sounds is that person just doesn't have client skills or people skills.
The photographer.
For a photographer, for being a photographer. So, and then they're probably trying to... yeah, it's like one of those people that just ask for a discount on everything and can I get it faster, messaging in the middle of the night and, 20
But as a
minute
photographer, I just think that's crazy. That's not even like...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the clients.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, that's why I try and not be very demanding with that. Like if I've waited 90 days for an invoice, I might send a follow-up, but I'm not chasing it like as soon as I've sent it and stuff. Not that it's unprofessional, like you're due the money, but things like that where people are chasing you and you're like, I haven't seen this invoice, and they're like, oh yeah, this is the invoice, can you send it or can you pay it? And then you're like, oh okay. So yeah, it's client skills, but yeah, that person's not the arsehole. They've just been embroiled in a very dramatic person's life, I believe. Yeah, they're good.
Thank you.
Yeah, you happy?
Yeah.
My ones were obviously big Reddit tales, so they might have been heard before. But yeah. So we've just done a shoot recently, and you guys have been looking at the rushes in the photography today, and it's all looking good. It was a successful shoot. Only one bit of kit broke, and then we coped. So yeah, that's.
But there's one issue I've got to say. Not issue. No, it's not that big.
Is that on camera or off camera? We can talk about it afterwards. There's no problems like show problems.
Yeah. Basically, the snowing bit or the rain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because the only good shot of her walking in or like walking into the sound lounge.
Yeah.
It's pouring down.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you could transition some rain before.
So yeah, basically we were doing a shot, and we can talk about this. We were doing a shot where we were going down the high street, and then when we got to the place where the actress goes in,
it was
by the time we got
raining.
there, it was snowing.
Yeah.
So it starts off a bit sunny and then as you're going, it's getting worse and worse and worse. And then by the end of it, it's like sideways. So yeah, I mean,
you could lose.
You really
that
can't
shot.
do much about the snow. But yeah, I'll have to have a look at that. I mean,
It's quite
it is
funny.
progressively getting
Yeah.
to snow. But yeah, it might look a little out of place. We might be able to zoom in or remove a few really bad offenders of snowflakes or sleet or whatever it was. Did I manage to not get any on the lens though?
Yeah, I don't think you
Yeah,
did.
I was
From
checking
what I saw, yeah.
and I was pointing away from the wind
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that was it.
successful shoot and a successful pod. Thank you for your questions
Thank you.
and joining us. And you're going to edit this. Woo! Cool. Thank you, host.
I don't know what to say. I forgot. What is it?
And if you like this episode, you just move your mouth and I'll do the voice.
I don't know what you're going to say though.
I know, but just go. And if you like this episode, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. Bye. Bye.